Final Fantasy IX has once again graced us with its presence, this time on new age consoles. Although it is just a port of the PC version, I was still excited to jump in. The question is, how does it stack up 20 years later? Final Fantasy IX has always been my favorite Final Fantasy game to date. There have always been two reasons for this, the story and the characters. The overarching story is overall what you've come to expect from most JRPGs. It is the character development and how the game juggles multiple stories at once while keeping them intertwined with the big picture. That's what makes this game shine so bright. I had forgotten how well every single character develops. Even good old Quina. By the end of the game, he doesn't eat just frogs. Vivi's childlike nature turns into an adult, understanding of very complicated ideas, while Lindsay aka Steiner starts off as a knight who follows orders no matter what, learns to finally think for himself, and make his own decision on what is right and wrong. Freya, Dagger, Armoret, Echo, Zidane, Beatrice, who isn't even the party, etc, etc. You get to see every character grow and become greater than they were. Due to the addition of ATE's, active time events, you can now see character development when the party leader isn't present. I don't want to give anything away, as Final Fantasy IX is an excellent piece of storytelling and a masterpiece of story arcs and development. Yes, turn-based combat is stale, I get it. Final Fantasy IX, however, added a steal mechanic, and if you want those super special treasures, you better strategize for them. It's different than all the other mechanics in Final Fantasy games, but hey, anything is better than farming thunders for hours on end. Isn't that right, Final Fantasy VIII fans? Also, at least IX's main character isn't dead. Due to the multitude of spells you can learn, and the variation of said spells, combat has a surprising huge depth to it. I mean, yeah, you can attack your enemies until they die, but that's not going to work on most bosses after Disc 1. It's better to have the characters learn all the abilities, especially Quina, as eating enemies can learn him different spells. As far as gameplay goes, there's enough variety of things here to keep it interesting. Chocobo hunting grounds, Tetramaster, a card-based minigame, and finding the best weapon in the middle of the ocean after hours of searching. Basic stuff. There's so much to do here side quest wise, like finding Chocobo Heaven, playing blackjack, finding secret summons, trading a Finger 4 sword, etc, etc. Trade a Finger 4 sword. Oh, Square Enix. And don't forget about the quest that was found for the first time in 2013. This game is full of secrets, and if you're adventurous enough to try for Excalibur 2, which is to beat the whole game in 12 hours, then you deserve a round of applause. If you found a walkthrough, it'll say you want to beat the first disc around 2.5 hours to the 3-hour mark. With the new speed up mechanic and the ability to auto-attack, my time to beat disc 1 was about an hour. To get Excalibur 2 is a lot easier now than it was in the PS1 days. However, due to the new speed up and auto attack, grinding and beating smaller enemies has never been easier, and it makes it so you won't be spending hundreds of hours defeating random enemies, and instead can enjoy the story for what it is. The soundtrack. Oh, the soundtrack. It's a masterpiece. This is by far one of the best soundtracks in gaming history. It takes its own spin on the classic Final Fantasy songs for the Chocobo theme and the battle theme, but it's by far the best in the series. And that song that plays when you're in the open world for the first time, mwah! Perfection. Find me someone who has beat this game and hates the soundtrack. It's impossible. It's as close to flawlessness as I have ever seen. But the remaster fucked one major thing up. You know that open world song I said was a masterpiece? Well, in the remaster, every time you exit a battle, the song starts from the beginning. Silicon Studio Thailand, I have one question for you.
Why? 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 Why?
I didn't notice it at first, but once you do, it's hard to ignore. Especially every time you start getting into it, it starts over again. Also, you can't name any of the characters. So no Lickitung name for Quina, no Lindsay name for Steiner, and Echo is Echo. Silicon Studio, more like Silicon Studio. Come on, let me change it. Let me change it. Come on. Oh my god, it's a stupid name. It's such a stupid fuck. It's a stupid name. It's really dumb. While the bugs are small and really don't ruin the experience that much, Final Fantasy IX is still a masterpiece, and the soundtrack is out of this world. Final Fantasy IX's original release would get a 10 out of 10 from me, but this port or remaster, whatever you want to call it, due to the various bugs and newly added cheats, gets a solid 7 out of 10, as I can't name Steiner Lindsay, his true and most majestic name. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, why not subscribe? And as always, I do have the charity month in the description. I have a GoFundMe page set up and their link to their website. If you'd rather do it through there, I'll catch you guys next time. Ba, 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 ba.